But you talked about being burnt along the way. Could you detail what you mean by that?
Yeah, I mean, near-death experiences, shootouts, home invasions, best friends stabbing you in the back, stabbing you in your front, people, that you trust, taking things that they shouldn't have took, but you don't want to do nothing to them because you love them. People lying to you, the manipulation, all that, because it's street life. So once you in the streets, but I'm quite sure people go through that in the business world and corporations as well. So it's, but it's a little different in the streets because the consequences that come behind that are a little more dire. You can get fired at your job, but in the streets you don't get fired. You either go to prison or get killed, Yeah.
And you said the book Think and Grow Rich that was the moment. That's what happened to make you realize, okay, I got to turn my life around.
Well, I can't say it was the moment because I always knew. I thought something was wrong with me.
Yeah.
And I just didn't understand what I was experiencing. For one, because I had nobody to talk to about it. That was one. And then for two, coming from where I came from, you don't talk to people about how you feel. It's a sign of weakness. It's like being in the jungle with lions and you telling them you ain't gonna, you're not gonna run if they attack. It's the same thing. But Think and Grow Rich, when it was given to me, I just sat down with it one day and I just started going through it, and I would just find little things and I would be like, I wonder how this apply to my life. And then I would find something else and be like, I wonder how this apply to my life. And then something would happen. Then I would go back to the book and flip through the pages and see if I could find something and what I was learning was I was getting the answers to a lot of things that I had so many questions, because I've always been a curious person.
Yeah.
I always, I'm just like that. Like I want to know the knowledge. And for me, it was like, I just was figuring things out through this book. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, somebody who has faith and you give them a Bible and they just didn't know they had that much faith. It's just like they're starting to learn the word. But I'm starting to learn like life and that this is a thing. It's not just me. Because that's what I was thinking. You know what I mean? This is me. I'm coming from poverty. I'm going through these things, and that's just what poor people do. And that was not the case. Rich people go through this too, right? But they just have help and therapists and circles and people to help them deal with this. But you're talking about a kid that's coming from the projects who's made it out of that 1 percentile, and now you have some type of success. But you brought all your traumas with you, right? All your everything, your insecurities, everything. And now I got this book, and I'm sitting with it for hours and hours in and hours in, and I'm doing shows and coming back, trying to get back to the book so I can read it, because I didn't want to take it on the road, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't want, I got a tour bus full of gangsters, like you don't want them to see you reading a book.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's not, and I would get back home and I just go through it, and I just kept finding out stuff. And where the real shift was for me, that I would see people going through things and I just would know what to tell them. So just to put this in perspective for you, I learned a lot about the streets from music, and that was my book before music. Like Tupac Shakur, his whole life, everything he went through, everything that he was doing, everything he was saying, I was learning from that rather than just listening to it. Like it was like my therapy, right? So I was able to navigate as a young kid through real situations by just listening to the music. So now this book is the new thing for me, right? So now I'm navigating through life using the book, right? And that's what made me want to, shift, because I was able to help people that was around me just by with the knowledge that I had. So that made them, feel like I'm still the big homie, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm like, well, how can this apply to me? So now I'm doing things that I'm getting out of the book, and then I'm also learning, okay, what is a mentor? Okay, I need to. So now I'm learning the guy that gave me the book is a mentor. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't go in it like that. So I'm thinking a mentor is like a whole situation where you got to sit down, fill out an application, you know what I mean, run your credit score, the whole nine. But it's not. It's like people who actually care about you. They want to see you do better, and they help you out along the way. And that's just what I became, through the book. And as I began to shift things, like it was small things like my health, because I wasn't eating right. You know what I'm saying? I was eating like, Waffle House, Cristal every day. I wasn't sleeping.
Okay, you said crystals?
Crystal.
Crystal.
I used to eat a little crystal too. But Waffle House, Crystal, champagne. And that was pretty much my diet. Because all I was doing was like living the street life. So I was just clubbing, hanging out, you know what I'm saying, getting up at, 5, 6 o'clock in the evening, doing it all over again, not drinking water. So I started with my health first.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's what you would advise someone else to do, start with their health?
Yeah, because if you take care of yourself, if you take care of your star player, it's like being on the plane. They tell you if the plane get turbulence and those air masks fall down, put it on yourself before you try to help somebody else. Okay, right? Yeah. It's the same thing. As I started to take care of myself, then my vision, I began to have clarity. So it was the decisions I was making they were clear. They wasn't alcohol infused. You coming from the club, you and your emotions about something, and that's the thing. Like, I wasn't just rapping, I was leading. You know what I mean? I was in the position of a leader. Like, I had neighborhoods and cities and men that would go to the end of the earth with me, right? And mind you, I don't even have the coordinates or the pin drop. I'm just going. Yeah. So they're following me everywhere and doing anything that I want done because I'm not thinking clearly. So I had to really sit back and be like, okay, my decisions are costing other people, things that it shouldn't be costing them. Right. And that's what I started to learn through the book, because it was a lot about leadership in that book, right? And as I started to learn that, I started to kind of like dial in on, okay, maybe I need to just take care of myself first. And as my health got better, I slimmed up. I was like 260. I got down to 185. Then I hit my sex symbol little run. That was good because all my fans were like guys, And then when I got myself healthy, it changed. You know what I'm saying? And that was like, oh. So that was the first sign of change for me. So that was the reward. I'm seeing it. I'm selling more records. I'm doing different types of shows. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, women are digging me. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that at first. And I'm like, wow, okay, well, what else can I do? So now I'm starting to work on, my relationships and my circles. And then I went from there to my mental health and so on and so forth. And I just been on that journey ever since.
So